Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. This is the first time in over a week that this has happened. What is this, you ask? We are just above freezing. Things are starting to melt. I backed the cart out today to get all this ice to come off of here. This is all the ice. The worst part about feeding animals is when the water buckets are frozen, the lids don't go on. Well, the lids actually stick on now, so we won't have water bouncing everywhere. Brooklyn and I are gonna go knock out the feeding tonight. Everyone is waiting for us. Hopefully no pigs are out because we're taking too long, but let's get this cart loaded up and we'll get started. All right, first stop, we've got the little piglets. Even though things are starting to melt, we've still got some ice down, so our ride is still smooth, and hopefully we're not gonna get stuck in any mud tonight. So we'll put this down, get the piglets fed and watered, and they'll be ready to go. Alright, piglets were a little bit thirsty. I'm not sure these fences are working. We gotta check these chargers. But all the piglets are doing well. They're starting to enjoy this warm up a little bit. We were in the 40s today, so that's pretty good. Look at this little fur ball here. What are you doing? So we got the two new ones that came from New Mexico. We gotta figure out some names. We just have not spent that much time with them yet. So we don't have names, but we'll work on names for these two girls. But they're fitting in well. They're finally figuring out, well, I don't know if they're figuring out, but they're kind of getting used to this snow. So piglets are done. Let's go on to the next pen. All right, normally we would stop here at this first breeding pen, but if you guys remember last video, Tuck is impatient, and when he sees us, he wants to come get his food. So we're gonna go out of order a little bit, jump down here and grab Tuck's pen. So this moron stays in his pen, and we don't want to make him wait for dinner. So we're down here a little bit out of order, but it's not a big deal. We'll get these three fed, and then we will work our way back towards the other ones. All right, everybody fed. Brooklyn didn't fall. You can see it's getting a little bit muddy. Tuck will be happy that he is fed and doesn't have to wait. A little bit impatient. Who is this, Brooke?
That's Dandelion.
Dandelion. We forgot her name, I think, last video. This is Dandelion. Everybody's happy with dinner. Best part, like I said earlier, these spigots have not frozen up. We're gonna be able to turn off the heat lamps tonight. And like I was saying at the start of the video, the lids are not frozen. There's no ice on our buckets. So that way the lids will go on. So when we're driving around in the cart, water is not splashing out. So get this bucket full and we'll start working our way back towards the ones that we skipped. All right, next stop, we've got Jelly Bean, Willow, Penny, and Josie. And you can see now that this mud's come up, they have started to really tear this area up, which doesn't make for a huge deal because we're gonna get a lot of rain and we'll get them out here shortly. But Brooklyn's coming with the food. I'm gonna get them some water. Hey everybody, You guys don't really want pets, you just want food, right? So we'll get them food, huh?
2 or 1.
They each get 1. And we were giving them 2 back when they were first getting weaned. Now they've got their figures back. We're going back down to 1. So we'll get them fed and watered. All right, first breeding pen that's up by the house. We got Thistle, 2 Luis, and Tonka waiting for some grub. Brooklyn's got the feed heading in. We're trying to set records here. Even though it's above freezing, it still is cold, so Brooklyn's trying to maneuver the food around their snouts so that it's not all over the ground. But if it does, they still enjoy it. So done with the pigs up front. Let's head over and get the 2 chicken coops. All right, here in the black Australorp pen, we have let them out and they've enjoyed getting out. Haven't had too much melt yet. The roof is melting, but they've got enough feed and water this afternoon. Hopefully they will go up. I think they will tonight. They're used to being in their house. Since we've been in negative temps, we've kept them in. Let's go check the Bielefelders really quick. Some of them were out this morning. It looks like, well, now they're underneath. So there's a couple of them out. They're gonna need a little bit of water and they are out of feed. So we'll go grab some feed and water for the Bielefelders. But chicken chores are pretty easy in the afternoon since these guys, actually girls, are not laying eggs yet. So we'll get them feed and water and we'll head to the back. All right, got the young gilts watered. Brooklyn's got them fed down here. This pen is always kind of a tough one to get done because there's so many pigs and bulls and everything else, but everyone is satisfied now. You notice the pigs never stay at the same bowl. They always go, they think they're missing out somewhere. They got a full bowl right in front of their faces, but they think somebody's getting something that they are not getting. So anyway, that's just the way it is. We used to try to keep them separate and keep them at their own bowls, but there ain't no point. It's like banging your head against the wall. So looks like Willow's happy. You good, Willow Bean? Molly's not gonna give us any. Well, here's your big old tongue hanging out, but everyone's good, everyone's eating. We got pigs squawking at us, letting us know that we haven't fed them yet. So we are on our way to another pen. Alright, here at our older chickens, the brown sex links, they're pretty easy. They've got the automatic feeders. Water is not frozen. Only thing we really need to check for is some eggs. We have not had any in a couple days, so I'm not expecting much. And we've got 0, so pull this bar up here. Hopefully with the warming weather, we'll start to get some eggs. Told Jamie we might need to get some from the grocery store, and she said that is a no-go. So hopefully we'll get some eggs here soon, and these brown sex links will start laying again. Okay, that is it for our side. We've got 4 more pens on my mother-in-law's side. Got Shiloh and Mabel happy to have dinner tonight. You can see it's turning into mud. It's gonna be mud everywhere once this stuff melts. So we will be moving them. I've talked about it a couple times now in the last couple videos, but they will be moving. So not too bad a timing. It's always better with help. So I'm glad Sis is out here with me. We've got 3 pig pens and a donkey pen left. So we gotta talk about the donkeys too. We moved them. Haven't told you guys that. So let's go check them out. Well, big surprise. Mr. Phil has been out rustling up leaves and can't get himself back in. Phil, this is turning into an everyday thing. Ew, you got a snot rocket, bud. Brooklyn will get in there and start feeding them, and then we'll open it up and get Phil in. All right, guys, pigs are done. We hadn't talked about this, but we have moved the donkeys back to their summer spot. You can see Maureen kind of walking gingerly there. She was not going up in the evenings, and I think her feet were getting really cold. I've cleaned her feet all out, and we've added hay in this barn. Here, sis, bring me feed. And so they have a place to get in, lay down. Hey, Leroy, how are you doing? So they've been laying down in here, and just overall, it's been better. This is definitely a better winter setup for them. So we do feed them a little bit of grain in the afternoons. So that is why Maureen is calling for me. She thinks I forgot. But she is doing a lot better. Glad we moved them over. She was able to get in there, lay down. I don't know why she wasn't going into the other building, but they're doing a lot better over here. So I'm glad it's warming up. We're gonna have our farrier come out and check out her feet just to make sure everything is okay. And they both kind of need a hoof trim anyway. It's getting that time. But that is what's been going on with the donkeys. So anyway, figured we'd bring you along. It's the first time in over a week we've been able to do chores above freezing, and it's gonna get nasty here. We got a lot of rain coming. It's gonna be all mud, but I think I'd rather take that than having all the freezing water and freezing buckets and everything else. So it's definitely a lot easier with Brooke helping out on chores. And hope you guys are doing well where you're at. We are doing good, and we're starting to thaw out, and we are very thankful for that. So if you haven't already, make sure
you like, subscribe, check us on Instagram and also Facebook, and don't forget to make the change.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next video.